Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, congrats on all your recent success and all these great songs and the album coming. And talk about, first of all, what it's like to have been on the road recently and how great it is to be back with audiences and giving your music to the people. The energy must feel great.
It is great. I mean, I toured for the first time this year. And after that, I got home and I was like, oh, I just want to do this again. It's just such a nice, like, it's different than anything else you can do as an artist because you have those face-to-face opportunities with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we have not had for a long time in general. And even just to like have it as, meet the people that listen to your music is very cool.
Yeah, to have your initial success and your initial kind of fame to happen during COVID, where people starting to realize who you are, it must feel really great then to bring the music out that you've been kind of living with indoors.
It gives you a new perspective. Honestly, like you get to know yourself better, if that makes sense. Like it just opens a whole new world and you're like, oh, these are like, I see the faces of the people who spend time listening to what I write. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. These are such personal songs that you write, and then to give those out to an audience and have an audience respond. I'm sure on socials for a while, but now out there in the crowd. Talk about just sharing that personal and how that becomes universal. Because the best artists are the ones that kind of dig deep, but everyone can relate to something there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So
Yeah.
to have something so personal though be embraced, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I think that it's my job as someone who has like sort of a platform to talk about these things. They're the things that like I wish I would have heard. And being able to, put them out for other people to hear and relate to is like the best thing in the world, It's I think music and, media in general is like an amazing form of like, it's a great outlet. It kind of like takes you out of the real world in a way. And, being able to transport people for a second, if that's what it does, and, make them be like, I'm heard, I'm not alone, is like very great.
When did you know you had that voice, you had that power, that you wanted to be this type of artist?
I mean, well, for me, I always, as like when I was younger, more so like, 14, 15, I had a lot of trouble communicating my feelings, my emotions. And a lot of the time I felt like I was the only one who felt certain ways. And then one day I opened up about it to my mother and I was like, is it normal that I like do this? And she's like, yes, it is. Like, it is normal and you're not weird for doing that. And I was like, God, I wish I kind of knew that. And when I really got into music and got into writing music, I was like, what is something I feel super passionate about? And that was the thing for me, something so easy to just write down and, it's just so easy to write down. It's harder to like, be in front of people and be like, hey, so this is what is going on in my brain. Rather than being like, so for me, it is a form of therapy. There's like a lot of catharsis and like writing down your emotions and like your feelings. And I think for listeners, it's like a similar kind of feeling, if that makes sense.
Of course. And talk about the Toronto scene as you're coming up, because I love that city and you try to get out there.
I take that as when I'm like, thank you.
But the music scene there has always been vibrant. And just what's it like kind of coming up in that scene? I know it changes and evolves, but being a Toronto artist and bringing your music to the States, how important was that shift and finding an audience here?
I mean, for me, it's like, Toronto, I'm like so happy to be from Toronto. So I like never going to be like, oh, I'm like, I'm an LA artist, whatever. Like I'm right. Toronto. I think Toronto breeds, Toronto, I mean, in general has a lot of creative like hubs and support for artists, which is really great. And I think it would just be like silly to be like but I think I just like surrounded by so many incredible talented artists in this, like, it's a small circle compared to like LA. or Toronto's a small circle, and you can like really have like incredible conversations with other creatives and like really band together and like create together. It just feels so intimate, and I really love the Toronto scene for that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, having a full album about to come out, what does this feel like to you? How ready are you for this next step in your evolution?
I mean, I never feel ready for anything, so I don't know. I'm very excited. I mean, for me, it's like I make music to like make music, and like it's the thing that I love, and that I hope other people do as well. And just to be able to have more music out in the world and like talk about more things, and have more things people can relate to is exciting for me. It's like that's number one, just having that out there. So well, there's a lot of like fear that comes with it. I think it's also just like, this is what I want to do, and like however if it helps one person, or if it helps 1,000 people, it's like
Yeah, there is a lot of raw emotion on these songs and on this record. And let's talk about cohesively just kind of the overall theme, because the songs are beautifully diverse, sonically, but thematically, where were you going with this album?
So it is around mental health. My first project was sort of like diaries. I explained it as diary entries. This project is like basically letters to, or like messages to, a character called Amelia. And basically like Amelia is a person that you rely on so heavily. You tell her everything. Like she is your comfort, and like she is your the person that listens to you. It's revealed closer to the end. So basically Amelia would be a part of like your brain that you put a lot of stress and pressure on, because you're giving her all these problems and all these issues within yourself. So like you put so much pressure, basically the main thing is that you put so much pressure on yourself that like you can lose those parts. Those parts can like disappear. And I think that's like, it's a little like confusing in a way, but it's also like, if I felt that, I felt like, like sometimes like for a week, like an element of like, it's like Inside Out, like the movie Inside Out. It's like sure. Joy will be missing, or like, sadness will be missing, or like something like that. And it's like, you've put so much pressure on yourself that like these things, like you can't help yourself anymore. And that's when you like reach out to others for help. And that's when you find outside help. And like, it's really just like, I guess that would be like, the main thing, if that makes sense. Just
are you ready for the reaction from fans that are going to take so much from this? And you say that's your job. So then part of the job then to then be a sounding board and to talk to fans after shows and be available on social media. Do you enjoy that part of it, knowing that you're there for them?
It's like one of my favorite parts. I mean, I love talking to these people. I like after shows, I'm like, okay, I just want to like, I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to know who you are. And I'm like, you know so much about me. Meanwhile, I'm here and I don't know about you. Like something weird about a one-sided relationship like that I just want to like learn more about that person.
Sure. So, yeah. How much you enjoy the visual, the music videos, and the new video with Travis? How much fun is that part of it, and getting glammed up and having fun?
I mean, it's fun. I wouldn't say I love the creative part. I love like, doing the whole like creative, working on the creative. It's when it comes to like, sometimes it's like, I don't love being on like camera like that. So I'm like, this is awkward. I feel awkward. I'm not a good actor. Like I'm not good, like whatever. But there's a lot of people there to help me with that. And like the most recent one I did with Travis was probably like one of the most fun videos I've ever done. It was just a lot of fun, and everyone was like, cheer me on. Like it was great. It was really good. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just once I like really like nail down that, creative, it just makes it easier and
Sure.
more, you know.
How'd that initial collaboration come to be?
Well, Travis and I were in the studio and we were working on just like another song, just like whatever. And I told Jeff to come that day, because Jeff like basically executive produced the album. And I was like, if we're working on the album, Jeff, like maybe come today just to like be there, And we had this song, We'll Make This Okay. And Jeff was like, you know what? While we're on like lunch break, Travis, do you mind like playing drums on this song? And at this point, it was such a demo. And he was like, yeah, sure. And he did such a good job. And I mean, it just was so natural and it just happened. And I mean,
Very cool. Yeah, you did. And now you mentioned, some of the awkwardness for videos, but being on stage, how comfortable are you now at this point? You just started touring really for the first time, but this summer you're going to big festivals, right? You're going to be probably the biggest audiences you've ever played. So how exciting is that prospect for you right now?
It's very exciting. I mean, I feel very comfortable with it now. I am nervous before every show, but I take that as a good sign. I like being nervous. I think it's a good thing to be nervous, and I just think it makes me play better. But yeah, it's like I feel like at some point it should start to feel like routine, but every show is so unique that it like doesn't, and things change every night. I don't like plan my banter, for example, so every night like every city gets something else, like a different story,
Sure.
like whatever. So I mean, I think it's just going to continue to like be so exciting.
Speaking of excited, how excited are you for what this can mean for you in terms of your profile with this album coming out and playing to bigger audiences? You seem poised for a major breakthrough by the end of this year. Are you feeling that inside? Are you ready for that in terms of like, this is what you've been working for?
Yeah, I mean, it's all, I've ever wanted. And like, if I can, be a musician full time forever, I don't have any backup plans. So I'm going to be, not okay. So that's, that's the goal, and like reach, more people. I want more people to be like, oh, that's how I feel. Cool. Awesome. And just like meet more people, learn about more people. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm ready. I mean, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for anything all the time.
No, I can tell you're on your way. Congrats on all your success already. And I know this is such a great record. It's going to be a big deal this summer. So congrats on it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Real pleasure talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
See you on the road. Yep.